Hi, Tyler from Infidelity here. Today we're going to talk about the Skullcandy Grind. This is a new headphone from Skullcandy, and it's $59. So it's a very inexpensive headphone. Basically, Skullcandy makes headphones for folks between the ages of 15 and 30, 15 and 25. They primarily focus on skateboarders and snowboarders and action sports enthusiasts. And this is a headphone designed for folks that like to skateboard and snowboard, I guess. And in the end, it seems to me it does a very good job for those people, for that audience. So this one, it comes in 4 different colors, black, white, blue, and then something called for locals only, which is yellow and black and gray and a little bit of red and magenta in it. It's a couple different colors. Anyway, I've got the clear one, and the nice thing about it is you can see right through the cup, so you can see what's going on inside, which is kind of handy because there's some good stuff going on inside. These are a full-sized, on-the-ear, ear-pad type sealed headphone. As I said, they're $59. The cable is appropriately short for mobile use, but it doesn't have a remote control on it. The remote control is actually on the ear cup itself. So here's a little button for you to, it's a 1-button remote, so you use different numbers of pushes to activate various functions on a phone. And then at the front of the cup, you can see here is the microphone. And the advantage of this is that you can always tell where the button is. So rather than having to fumble for it on here, it's right there, and it's always just right there. And the microphone is, of course, right available for listening to your voice. And for action sports enthusiasts, that's a handy feature because a lot of folks who are boarding like to put their cable down their shirt or inside their coat so it stays out of their way and they don't hit it with their arms as they're flapping about. So that's a cool feature. I really like that. The headband is all stainless steel. It's very durable. This is important for this headphone because, of course, these things are going to get knocked off and land on the cement and potentially have all sorts of damaging experiences or potentially damaging experiences in its lifetime. And it's very hard to tell as a reviewer how durable something is, but they appear to be very durable. You can really squish them around and they'll creak a little bit here and there, but for the most part they're not going to break very easily. And the reason is, it appears to me, is that this headband goes through this slider part here, this white piece right here, which is sort of attached to the headphone on a ball joint inside, but the part is kind of floating on that ball joint and is fundamentally held in place mostly by the ball itself and by the headband as it goes through this opening in the top of the headphone. And so anytime you put a lot of force on it, it really is forcing the stainless steel headband against this very fairly thick plastic cup, which appears to be pretty sturdy. I did talk to the engineer, exchanged some emails with him about this product, and it really is designed for high durability. As I said, the headband is a one solid piece, so there's no folding mechanism. You can't fold this up to make it smaller. However, because it's so durable, there should be no problem just throwing it in a backpack, and it should be fine that way. Comfort is quite good. The headband is amply padded. There's a little channel up on top so you don't get a hot spot right at the very top of your head. It'll tend to rest on the 2 bumps on either side. The pads here are some type of memory foam, it appears. I did take the pad off and have a look. And then the pleather around it is not protein leather, but it is, it seems like a nice grade of pleather. It didn't feel sticky or anything weird like that. It has a nice feel to it. And that's really tricky on a low-cost product, having things having a sense that the materials are fairly good quality, which it appears that here is important. Sound quality wise, they are surprisingly good. The first most important overall thing is that the overall balance is quite good on these headphones. Good bass extension, has a little bit of bass accentuation. The treble response is fairly even and fairly right along the target response lines, so it fundamentally delivers an overall sort of neutral to slightly warm presentation, and that's really good. On the downside, the bass is somewhat distorted. It has a bit of a loose and woolly sound to it, so it's not tight and impactful as it could be. But for a phone at this price range, I think it's not bad. I think it's pretty good, actually, because it's not overly bloated or missing, which is a thing that can often happen. But rather, I think for audiophiles, we'll, of course, hear this thick and woolly bass response as probably the biggest problem with these headphones, although I wouldn't say it's huge. I'd just say it's the problem that's most noticeable. But for the intended audience, because I think the amount of bass accentuation is done with a gentle hand, it's pretty carefully done. I think that most folks in this demographic are going to enjoy the bass. I don't think they're going to perceive it as loose and woolly as an audiophile would. I think they're going to perceive it as slightly accentuated, and they'll probably like it. The other characteristic that this headphone has that I'm not particularly fond of is that it's a bit hard sounding in the low and mid treble. The treble has good resolution and good articulation. It doesn't put any extra junk around sounds. The cymbals are clear and well articulated, for example, but the mid treble is kind of hard sounding and a little shouty, but just a little. In a lot of ways, it sounds more like there's just a bit of accentuation in the low and mid treble, and people who are not audiophiles will likely perceive it as a good speech intelligibility, actually. So while I think it's got a couple of problems, I also think those problems are not severe, and the overall impression is of a headphone that's got a really nice, well-balanced response, and doesn't have anything that is horribly wrong with it. It's a headphone that you like to listen to. It's enjoyable to listen to without any fatal flaws. So thumbs up for that. So at $59, I don't think I've heard anything better. So it's going to go up on the Wall of Fame as a good low cost on-ear sealed alternative. And I hope you get the chance to hear one soon. And certainly, this is a great headphone if you've got younger folks in your lives who are action sports enthusiasts. This is a great headphone as a gift. So don't forget this one come Christmas time as a potentially a great gift item to give. All right. Hope you get a chance to hear a pair soon, and we'll see you guys next time.